This is an iHeart podcast.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Hey, when's the last time you've listened to Hot 99.5? Because we have all of the hit music, but also a lot more. Like Intern John in your morning show. I'm Elizabeth, and I want to make sure you always know about the latest events, deals, and things we're making fun of around the DMV.
I love this station. You talk about real stuff.
And Nick Gomez gets you access to all of your favorite artists. And we're all giving a bunch of things away every day. In fact, you might even be able to win $1 million.
Oh, snap. I want to. Awesome.
We're DC's #1 hit music station, Hot 99.5.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about maritime madams. Whether through scientific study, aquatic exploration, or legendary prowess, these women harness the power of the bodies of water that cover our Earth. Today we're talking about a Viking woman whose skills as a warrior on the field and at sea made her the stuff of legends. So much so that we're not certain whether she existed at all. Please welcome Lagertha. Over 1,000 years ago, medieval Scandinavia was rife with the feuds of warring Viking kingdoms and tribes. Frö, the king of Sweden, once invaded the Norwegian kingdom and killed their king, Sigurd. He then jailed all of the women in Sigurd's family in a brothel. News of Frö's brutality traveled to Ragnar Lothbrok, King Sigurd's grandson. Ragnar was a famous Viking warrior, notorious for his piracy and violent raids. When Ragnar heard of his grandfather's murder and his family's humiliation, he led his army to Norway to seek revenge. Lagertha was one of the women locked away in the brothel. To escape, she and the other women disguised themselves as men and joined Ragnar's army in the battle against King Frö. Ragnar was so impressed by her skill and ferocity as a warrior that he credited their victory to her alone. He began to court her, sending frequent letters to her home in the Gaula River Valley in western Norway. Knowing Ragnar would eventually show up to claim her as his bride, Lagertha installed a great bear and a hound as guards at her door. When Ragnar arrived to seek her hand in marriage, he was not deterred by her animal sentries. He killed the bear with a spear and strangled the hound to death. Now it was Lagertha's turn to be impressed. She felt Ragnar had proven his might as a warrior and accepted his proposal. They married and had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. They lived together peacefully for a few years before Ragnar was called back to his kingdom in Denmark. While away, he fell in love with another woman, Thora, the daughter of the new king of Sweden. Ragnar and Lagertha divorced, and Lagertha also eventually remarried. In the meantime, Ragnar was facing growing dissent in his home kingdom that had blossomed during his absence. War was coming, and he needed help. He asked Lagertha for aid, and she came to the rescue with a fleet of more than 120 ships. Once again, her military savvy won Ragnar a decisive victory. When she returned home from the epic battle, she killed her second husband, took his name, and ruled their kingdom on her own. What we know of Lagertha's story ends here. It was recorded in the 12th century in the Gesta Danorum, a key source of Danish history, and was written by a historian and author named Saxo Grammaticus. We don't know much about his sources. It's very possible that Saxo invented Lagertha completely, taking inspiration from other Norse legends to embellish Ragnar's story. Another theory is that the medieval Christian church had an influence in Lagertha's creation. By creating a barbaric warrior woman, Saxo could contrast her pagan society to a more civilized Christian one, where women were meek and obedient. Today, historians don't even agree on whether Viking warrior women existed. Nevertheless, the legends of Lagertha and other fierce Viking shield-maidens have persisted for centuries in the popular imagination, continuing to inspire new generations of storytellers. All month, we're talking about maritime madams. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
This is an iHeart podcast.